Welcome to another episode of Racing to Learn. We are a nonprofit that uses radio control to get kids excited about math and science. We've got our ProLine Pro MT 4x4 here. We're going to do kind of a shakedown bash. We're not going to go all out here at the BMX track just because we're still, kind of ironing out the bugs here, so we don't want to go full blast. You can see the setup that we have right here. This is a Hobby Wing 4092, meaning 40 millimeters in diameter, 92, I think maybe it's a 72, I forgot. 40, don't quote me on that. Go back to our previous videos in the playlist and the video description there. For the time being, we're using an Arma servo. We just had this lying around. A couple upgrades. We've got the metal servo horn here because the plastic one broke on us pretty quick. We're using a OC Day, so this is a speed control that you can get off of eBay for like 12 bucks. This is probably undersized for this application. It's a 60 amp. You guys again can go back to the previous videos in the series, but this is pretty much what we had on hand, so we threw it in. This is a four-wheel drive truck, so I was kind of explaining this to Marcus because he's new to the RC world. We've got 3 differentials here, so center differential attached directly to the motor via spur gear and the pinion off of the motor. We've got a front differential up here and then a rear one, so you've got drive shafts connecting everything. The four-wheel drives, are a little bit more complicated because you've got a lot more power drivetrain components, right? So if you have a massive crash in the front, you're probably going to have to do a lot more repairs than compared to a two-wheel drive where you have basically just steering in the front, right? No drivetrain, no power actually going up to the front. So we're gonna get this on the track here. Any other questions, Marcus? You had a couple of them that were really good.
No, I thought it was mostly about the all-wheel drive right here, right?
Yeah.
So you said that the important thing to get four-wheel drive to work, you apply all power to all 4 wheels, but then when you do turning, you have to make sure that you have a different speed at the outer edge is faster than the inner edge.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what the differential is for.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
And that's kind of my understanding of what's going on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. Like when you're making a turn like this,
Mm-hmm.
the inner wheel is to the turn is covering less distance than that outer wheel, right? So
Right.
to make up for that distance and speed differential, that's what the differential does. That's how it got its name. So and they're viscous, or you can fill these with different weights of silicon fluid, and that will alter the handling characteristics, right? Because the more viscous that is, the more it's going to perform like a limited slip differential. So Marcus being a car guy, he understands that lingo here. But essentially, if you have a lighter weight fluid, it's going to turn easier. That differential is going to spin easier.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a heavier one, so usually in trucks like this, people will put a heavier weight in that center differential just because you've got so much power going through it. You want more of that power, making it to all 4 wheels versus, these are open differentials, meaning, if you have a wheel off the ground or whatnot, all the power is going to go to the path of least resistance there. So, if you have one wheel up in the air or whatnot, that wheel is just going to spin and you're not going to have a lot of power going to the other wheel unless you put some thicker fluid in it to create that viscous limited slip effect. So, let's get this thing on the track here.
All right.
These flies get pretty annoying too. All right, so we've got it on the track. Why isn't it working? That was weird. All right, we got it on the track. Again, we're just running on 2S over here, so nothing too crazy. We're just doing some shakedown runs. Get a feel for the truck on the dirt. Ooh, it is definitely nose heavy.
All right, so we brought that thing up here. So explain to our audience what does nose heavy mean and what does it do? What is the concept?
Yeah, so nose heavy means you'll notice as I go off of some of these jumps, actually I took that down, it was weird, maybe I was just putting the brake there. It's actually, if you see as I'm going through the jumps, if it was nose heavy, the nose would tip down on the ground.
Right, so kind of creates kind of like a lever, right? Like a lever type of thing, yeah.
Exactly. And so for racing buggies, they actually, and you can see the chassis slapping on the ground as I land on the ground. Yeah, we've got to tune the shock oil. We've got to put in a thicker shock oil. Because, yeah, you can actually see that the tail of the body just slam on the ground there as we land off of those jumps. So yeah, the center of gravity, that's a term you'll hear. You know, the center of gravity is more toward the front of the truck. Then the nose of the truck will land forward. And, you know, land like that.
Right.
So usually and it's weird because on some of these jumps, it's not being nose heavy, and then on other jumps, it is.
Do you think there might be like a transfer of weight from subsequent jumps?
Yeah, do you see that it's not really jumping flat either? Well, it could have been just how I took the jump. Yeah, it's probably just how I took that jump. I probably hit some imperfections in the dirt there. This isn't exactly a rim track. But yeah, there's definitely some tuning that we can do here on this truck to make it better. This truck has anti-roll bars too. Yeah, so you were saying that. Yeah, you can hear that chassis flapping. You definitely got to address that, or else you're going to tear up this chassis real quick. We should have really gotten a chassis protector. Those are like, you know, like 3-4 mil sheets of plastic, adhesive plastic that you can put on. Yeah, there's definitely some improvement we could do on this truck. Yeah, protected bumpers, T-bone bumpers. Hearing that just makes me cringe. Let's see how bad we've scarred this. And this is our first time at the track here. Yeah, so you can see those nicks. I mean, again, mostly aesthetic, but you know, we like to try to keep our trucks operating and performing. You know, when you scratch up the bottom, the worst thing you can do is mar some of these screws so that they're difficult to get out. But yeah, this truck is definitely, we've got to do some suspension tuning on it. The servo too, you can hear this actually. Operating this seat, you can hear like kind of a clicking. Something's not working right with the servo saver, so that's to dull in the impacts on the servo, right? So you don't tear up your servo. So yeah, we got some more work to do on this. Unfortunately, it isn't as ready to run as you would like, right? A lot of these trucks, you know, you got to realize that these are mass-produced trucks, so you know, they're not going to be as there's not an attention to detail that you would have if you were building the truck yourself, because from a business standpoint, they're trying to get this truck done from the factory as soon as possible, with, you know, as little defects as possible. But you know, it's not always perfect. And this truck actually just hit the market not too long ago, so you know, there's as with any product, they're teething pains as well. So yeah, we're definitely going to work on it. It was pretty fun to drive here. Definitely a little bit slow on 2S. So you know, again, 2S, it's two lithium cells, so 3.7 volts nominally times 2, right? So you're looking at about 8 volts. This truck is a lot better on 3S, but the speed control that we've got in here, we burned up one on 3S. Even though it's rated for 3S, it's not really built for it. Especially running a larger 8-scale size motor that we have here. You know, it's fine with a 550 motor. You guys have seen us run this OC Day speed control in our Ruckus, but with the greater load of a monster truck, a 8-scale monster truck motor, it's just not holding up. So thanks for watching. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.